Okay, good evening. It's 6:02, and I'd like to call the pre-council to order to go over our agenda and hopefully move through some of this pretty quick tonight. So, we have our call to order, and it looks like everybody's present. Anybody want to do the invocation? I think you did it last week, didn't you, Jason? Had last night over at the water board. Alice, would you care to do it, or would you like to do it? Okay, we have an agenda. I think y'all know that our clerk was out last week. She's returned this week and did get us an agenda. But there were a couple things that the council may wish to add, so I told her I didn't have any problem. I didn't think any of y'all would. It's kind of a short, unusual for us to meet back-to-back Tuesdays, so we have the agenda, and I don't know if there's a couple other things y'all might want to add to it or not. If there is, let's just go ahead and add to it, or, if it's addressed during the meeting, as long as everybody's okay with it, I don't have a problem with it, so. With that being said, the agenda is here and posted. Is there any additions, deletions that y'all would like to make?
Not at this time, but I did just get it, so I've only had like 2 minutes to look at it.
Mayor, do we want to talk about the possibility of sending an intent to purchase on that topic?
Why, Jason?
We want to discuss sending an intent to purchase on that Tahoe for the fire department. I didn't know if we wanted to talk about that. I think the deadline's coming up pretty quick.
Okay, Mr.
I'll add me too.
Okay, all right, well, under visitors, I think Ms. Stallman wanted to approach us in pre-council tonight. She said she could take care of it without having to come back on the meeting, so do y'all have any problem, I think, discussing the grant, allowing her to come during that time? All right, Mr. Skelton's asked about discussion of a Tahoe tonight, and that's going to be, I think, for the fire department. So that would be G.
Tom, give it to me.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought that was something.
G for the Tahoe, Mayor.
G, if that's what the request is. Is there any opposition to that? There's no opposition, so we'll add that to G. Like I said, as long as everybody agrees, we're able to add or do, especially things that's been brought before the council before. Okay, so clarifying the agenda, Ms. Stallman will come during the visitors report, and then we're adding G. So with those two additions, can I get a motion who will make the motion for the agenda now? I'll need a second. Okay. The minutes from the last meeting, they were slightly different since we had somebody else taking it, but I read over them. I thought they looked pretty good. I was pleased with the minutes. So did anybody have any corrections or additions that they wish to make? If not, we'll ask Jason again. We'll make the motion. I'll need a second for it. We don't have any recognitions tonight, but we do have two visitors. The first one is on the agenda and has been, and that's from Miss Judy Callan. Ms. Callan, your request to waive the fee for Gator Guys Lunch on May 18th, 2022 at Steel Creek Lodge. Okay. 18th would be, well, so that's for Friday. That's right, May. I'm looking at March. I'm sorry. Yeah, that would be on a Wednesday.
Do we want to add that down to the H, for items of consideration?
I think we could probably just address it when at the meeting in that order, if you'd like, instead of even having to add anything.
You need to vote on it, since that's what
Yeah, we can vote on it for there. I mean,
we would-
or we'll do it if we'd like. We got some Steel Creek stuff we're gonna have to discuss.
Vote on
I can bring it up then.
Okay, that's,
What is Gator, guys?
It's like this, isn't it the senior breakfast for the boys?
Yes.
Okay.
Tea for the girls at the library and the cookout for the boys on the same day.
Okay, so it's just kind of like a senior breakfast. Yeah.
that sounds good. So Allison, make the motion. Bubba, second. Thank you. Does anybody else want to come before the council tonight? Appreciate you coming tonight. We hadn't seen you lately. I know you said you've been spread out, so we always appreciate it. Mr. Walters, we got you there. And I see some of our regulars back there in the back. That's good. Miss Shirley here, so. All right, well, thank all of you for coming tonight. If y'all look on B, we had Robbie Storm. Robbie sent an email yesterday, said he could come to the council meeting tonight, but they have sent late yesterday an email, and it has some of the, I guess, the drawings as Robbie has started working on them and updating, but I thought it was a lot of information to get last night and try to get for the meeting tonight without y'all having time to look at it or go down and look at the lodge and see what he's talking about. And also, I think, I had Tom give y'all the cost estimate that we got along with the email here last night, and I kind of wanted y'all to have a chance to look over some of that. You can see the estimate's a little bit higher than the grant we have, so we're going to have to figure a way to try to either put more money in the project and or trim that project down from what our estimate that we got yesterday was. So I just didn't think it was time to allow everybody the opportunity to look at this and study it, be ready for a meeting tonight. I got with Tom earlier, and Tom did respond with some questions that I think everybody would have. We just got that email back. It was well after lunch today, wasn't it? Whenever seemed like it was around 2 or 3 o'clock when I talked to you, and you hadn't even read it yet. So, anyway, regarding this, I think it might be worth us putting a workshop together one night and coming up here and just spending, some time on that project specifically without, one night we not have a lot of other stuff going on where we can kind of put our heads together. So I was going to throw that out tonight for y'all to look. I know that the spring starts with, some of y'all have children, grandchildren that's got programs and all, so I was thinking either we usually meet on Tuesday nights, either like next Tuesday or 2 weeks from tonight, since this is a 3-week break between meetings. If one of those 2 nights would be better for us to try to come up and just discuss the Steel Creek, nothing but the lodge and all. And we could see about having Robbie come to that meeting rather than tie us up the whole pre-council or council meeting discussing that.
So we're talking about the 29th?
Yes, sir. Well, I'm just saying Tuesday nights most of us keep available for council meetings, a workshop, so the 22nd or the 29th was just what I was throwing out, but my schedule is pretty open next week for any night.
I'm fine, either one of those.
Mr. Butler,
Yeah, I'm fine.
Jason?
Either one's fine.
I prefer the 22nd, if that's
Okay.
okay.
Mr. Phillips, can you do the 22nd?
Sure.
Tom, let's see if we can get Robbie to come next week and make sure that we're able to get the council a copy of the things that he sent. Well,
5:30.
5:30. Gives me a little bit more time.
okay. All right, next Tuesday night at 5:30, we'll schedule a workshop pertaining to Steel Creek Lodge and the renovation project for us to devote that night to that. So,
Tell them you better make it worth our while.
okay,
I sent them a notice a couple of days ago, I saw an email that, they're gonna be asking for where you are on the project, because the money has to be spent, you know, within the 2 years, and contractors are far out, so I just hope we can get it done.
I mean, biggest thing we're gonna have to try to understand and try to figure out is what we might can do ourselves, some of the work ourselves. Few of the projects that, you know, just like the rock and all, scattering the rock and stuff like that. I mean, that's what we're gonna have to try to, where we can knock some of this price down if we're gonna try to do it all.
right, we were looking at some of the materials and all that we think we might be able to try to get down a little bit, but, you know, we've been scared of this coming in, the price of the materials and all going up so much as they have this past year, so I hate to say it, but it's not totally unexpected, so, all right, well, we're gonna set a workshop next Tuesday night, 5:30 PM.
Is there any stipulation to the grant that says like a percentage of the money needs to be used for XYZ? Like as far as it being, you know, since it's an educational type grant for, I guess, is it like the ecosystem in the area of the Delta? No, okay.
I didn't see any of that, but, okay, and then tonight in our consideration, it's just related to the Steel Creek, but y'all gonna see on E is gonna be discussion and consideration of bids for the cleaning services at Steel Creek Lodge, so that's kind of related to this, but we can bring that up at that time. The fence at Lions Park is an issue again. Apparently, we got a lot of kids playing ball up there this year, and the parking has gotten back around, and now that they got all the parking signs on the south side of Plateau, vehicles are sticking out, and there's really isn't a lot of room to pull off the road on the side of Plateau, so between Old 43 and 2nd Avenue there, it's kind of a traffic jam, so it might be worth us revisiting moving that fence in a few feet, so just so the cars can park, and just letting you know that there has a lot of kids up there playing right now, so we had that
That was
last
the whole
night.
reason for taking the football field, I mean, the football scoreboard, like the old board down, and then trying to move that in. But, were you able to get at the new budget numbers? Because I don't think that 5,000 was in the budget.
But we're going to
The
go over,
electrical for the scoreboards with that.
well, you know, we can look at the budget and see, I feel like we can move that, and I'm just scared if it's going to be a safety issue, and that's the reason that it's just so crowded through there, you know. So, I mean, if it's something we can do, I mean, I feel like we should be able to find the money to go ahead and do that.
Well, Tom, have you made any headway on the C&D field restrooms as far as?
Just waiting on the bid to come in on the building.
Okay. So I know we had some capital funds for that, Mayor.
And I'm almost through with February statements, so that once I finish February, it should be by probably first of next week. We'll have them up to date.
Yep.
You have to have that by
Yeah, y'all have to have an April, 6 month, so y'all know where we stand by the first meeting in April, or at least a good, close, right,
We'll have March's stuff in there. We'll have
Right.
the expense
Most.
reports to go with that.
We've already got the bids in to move the fence,
Right.
so I mean, that's something we look at those bids again, and if y'all decide, move forward with that, get that done. And we could still have Public Works possibly remove the fence to get it started.
I think that already included the removal of the fence, because I think they were just gonna yank it out with like a winch or something. Pull it out of the ground.
Way since ball season started.
Yeah, I didn't know that included the removal. of
Yeah,
the
it did.
fence.
It removal and putting that. I'll have Travis to call the fence company back tomorrow and see what they can do, and I'll let y'all know so before we do anything.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Last night, the water board meeting, we had a very good audit over there. So we're still staying busy and still hoping to get the money released for that water sewer project in the not too distant future. I'm sure that y'all have all gotten phone calls about the school board vacancy. There seems to be generating a pretty good bit of interest, so hopefully we can identify some good candidates for that position.
As of today, no one's turned in an application.
Okay, I think a couple of them are trying to get their resumes updated and ready, so we'll see who actually submits one, and hopefully I feel certain we'll have some good candidates. We did get the rock down on North Oak Drive and received a couple of calls from those people over there thanking us for that, so it does look a lot better. The road grader is scheduled to be out this weekend, so hopefully we can get that back and going. I was contacted by a couple of ladies wanting to know if we'd ever discussed a community garden for Satsuma, where we could, they said they thought there would be some interest in that, so I had to tell them that I had never, prior to the last getting the phone calls, but I think somebody said it was a Facebook post, that somebody said something about it, that there would be some interest, and so I got a message from one of our citizens last night asking if we had ever discussed that, and I said, well, we hadn't, but I certainly didn't think anybody was opposed to it, but I'm not sure where we could identify an area that would be good for that, but
They want to maybe come before the council and present their ideas, maybe. Because I know like the SCDO was asking to do some gardening in Baldwin Square. And then the library could always use help in their rose garden.
I think they're talking more along one of the more
Vegetables.
community, vegetable type thing. I think they're looking for a
Like a-
bigger area.
They was
Something
talking, I
big.
seen some talk about the lot we have over there just past Charles V. was being thrown out
That's
there,
what
which,
they, yeah, they were
which would
wanting
be a
to
great place to do a
like-
community garden.
Do like turnips and like vegetables, vegetable garden.
Well, I don't know how that works, but
Yeah. I heard, seen something about that, a couple of them asking about it.
No, I have seen cities do it, but I don't recall us or,
I just think they want permission to be able to do it there, not the city do it for them. I've been reading. Nobody officially has asked for it.
I guess if they want to come and tell us kind of like what they, because we could probably guess, maybe, like, I don't know, but that sounds neat.
Yeah.
okay. The other thing is, the amount of vehicles that we have in the city with this gas going up, if it stays like this for the remainder of the year, we'll likely be having to adjust the budget to cover some of that, because, we were never anticipating it more than doubling on us before half of the year, so I figured y'all were aware of that, and we can discuss that when we get some numbers next month. those are the real items that I had. And, you know, if there's any questions, there's always things that seem to go on, or meetings we have or talk to, or legislation that's coming up that may affect the city. So if y'all have anything we need to discuss, just let me know. But with that being said, that's all I have. Mr. Little, Public Services.
I'm not gonna have anything tonight, Mayor.
Yes, sir. We go to Public Safety, Mr. Butler.
Yeah, I talked with Chief Harrell and Chief Waits today, and both of them said we didn't have anything for the agenda.
Mr. Butler, I just spoke with Mrs. Stallman, and the information I sent you last week, giving the mayor about the grant money from the state of Alabama, it looks like everything's a go. The $10,000 from the state, it should be cleared up, and I think we are a go with all the money, and we should be receiving that in the next few weeks. We just got that, that's why I didn't tell you about it.
Good.
So it looks like we're gonna be getting that pretty soon.
Okay. Mr. Skelton.
So the fire department will be doing the Prom Promise program tomorrow morning, so it's be right out here by the stadium. So if you see a lot of emergency vehicles, don't be alarmed. That's what that's going to be about. Also, just let you know that the last week of April, Heather will be out of town at a clerk's class. Just want to give you that heads up. And also, wanted to see if anyone else up here was confused as I was about our email on our conference registration, and the hotel choices. Has anyone up here made their hotel reservation yet?
All we done it?
In the past, we've always registered the mayor and council and gotten the hotel rooms for you. This year, they changed it up and we registered you, but they sent each one of you an individual email to register yourself for a hotel. I spoke with the league today and she gave me the link where we could do that, because I explained to her we have a city card that we always book y'all's rooms with. And that would prevent y'all from having to be reimbursed, et cetera. And she gave me that link today, but I wanted to make sure nobody had registered for a room first. Okay. Mayor, have you? Okay. So I will do that tomorrow and I will get you your confirmation.
I read the first part of my email, said I had been registered for the conference.
Yeah,
And
you think that comes with the hotel? But it was in the listserv this week for clerks that a lot of people were confused because nobody had hotel rooms yet. And it's because they changed it up and everybody was supposed to get their own room. But she's giving me the link and I will take care of that tomorrow.
Thank you. And I've got my fee for Miranda in my truck, and I'll get it to you. So that's all I have.
Now, speaking of that, I spoke to our colleagues in Saraland. I think almost all of them made the trip to Washington this week, and they said it was a very good conference. I really wish somebody would have gone from Satsuma, and hopefully next year some can go. So, Ms. Reese?
I got an email about the lighting at the ballparks, but I just got it in the car on the way here. So I haven't had an opportunity to look over that, but I don't see a quote. I see pictures. So I'll have to look through that. And then I also received some emails with the Lions Park ball schedule. So I'll get that to y'all. It's for their field use. And I've requested the schedule from Wright Park girls softball, but I don't have that yet. So I'll forward that when I get it. And I don't think there was anything else, but I guess further down we'll discuss the agenda items for the Steel Creek, because I was not expecting that. So I haven't really gotten a chance to go through it.
What are you, on the cleaning?
Yeah, the cleaning, and then it looks like the rates, the rental rates. So I guess we're just going to discuss that tonight. But I don't know, did Trish just, I'm not sure how the prices were determined.
The mayor she spoke to the mayor, and the mayor had her get all the, comps around the city, and think did she not put that in there?
I thought she,
Like I said, I just got this packet, like, so I've been trying to work through it.
Anyway, that's how it was determined. Even with that rate increase, we are still way under all of the other venues around. And, you know, considering all the upgrades that were just done, it would make sense to go up on the rent just a little bit.
Well, I mean, do we need to go up more?
You know,
I guess we'll talk about that on E and F, okay.
because we did, the second person that rented the Steel Creek this weekend, there was damage to some of the soap dispensers, et cetera. So, sure, we've taken, you know, Tricia's taken the measures to take care of that, but with their deposit, and we've spoken to the people.
I thought Trish was gonna stay around to answer any questions, but she's the one that worked on it, so. If she's still here, we'll have her to, I thought she was going to be here to answer your questions. She's the one that put it
Okay.
together.
Did she leave? Okay, I'll see her.
Anything else, Ms. Reese?
No, sir.
Mr. Phillips?
Mayor, the only thing I'll have coming up tonight's discussion to continue about the lawnmowers. Do y'all want to do that now at that regular meeting? I mean, I don't have hard facts on some of the budget items because like Heather said, it ain't quite ready. But on the numbers we do have, under Public Works, we have a $12,000 account for equipment purchases. Under the 7 cent, we have $37,828, and then on the 4 and 5 cent, we got $312,906. And the way I'm reading it, the 4 cent account, you can purchase equipment out of it. Is that right, Jay?
I didn't go back and look at it.
I mean, I'm looking at the budget for 4 cent here, and there was equipment expenses budgeted, which was $37,500. So, like I say, the money seems to be there in different accounts to pull it out. And other thing we did do, we got one more quote. The John Deere mowers were $11,694, and Saraland Lawn and Garden, and they're 60-inch cuts, 61-inch cuts. Saraland Lawn and Garden give us a price of $9,582 for 72-inch cut mowers. So it's actually, waiting a week saved us a couple $1,000 per mower. So guys, if y'all want to buy it, say so. If you don't, I'm not bringing it up at the next meeting.
Since you had the, you got the tractors out of the 7 cent,
Well,
so what was the,
we never said where we was gonna pull it, but like I say, 7 cent, there's
oh,
$37,800
I thought it was
there.
right here on the minutes.
Okay, so
So
that's
what was the
gone.
other two that you
You
said?
got 12,000 in the Public Works budget, and then the 4 and 5 cents, you got 312,000.
And that's okay to use?
I gotta go back and look at the 4 cents, and my memory is no, you
Well-
don't get equipment out of it.
It's budgeted right here in our budget, expense 4 cents.
Yeah, but that's just the budget, that doesn't mean,
But what I'm saying is, if we couldn't pull it out of it, why is it there? Yeah,
I may be wrong, my memory is you have to be building the roads for the 4 cents, not for,
okay, well,
you know, equipment like cutting grass and things like that. We can check.
so the tractor could come out of it.
My understanding, on 4 and 5 cents, you can use it to repair and maintain or construct ditches, culverts along the right of way of the street, reconstruction, maintenance, widening, any kind of alteration or improvements to public roads, bridges, or right of ways. That I don't think, you could justify it for you know, some of it, but I don't think you could justify the whole shebang of it.
We can go back and look, probably find some more specifics as to whether lawnmowers,
Right.
whether that qualifies as maintenance that's for that.
But money can be used for repairs and
And like I say, there's 12,000 just in the Public Works for new equipment. That takes care of one right there. One of them right there. So you're only looking at coming up with $9,500. You know,
Allison, what about money in the parks? Is it any?
I looked, there ain't none.
I don't know where we are since October. I don't know.
Yeah, I
So,
looked, there's
A lot of
none there for
fields get
equipment.
cut, or I just wondered, I mean, that sure could be in,
that's what I told Bubba last time. I said, once we have the numbers, we'll be able to see where we are on things.
yeah, I gave
You're right, this right here,
Yes, sir.
yeah.
Oh, no, Edith said she gave you a copy of what was in the 4 and 5 cents.
I never received it,
Okay, I'll go back there.
that's what I'm saying, that's the reason I had these where y'all looked them up just
Yes, sir.
a little while
There
ago.
was, James and I looked at it Monday. There is, some, like, the improvements to, Baldwin Square is over budget right now, but that's because you had that big tree fall.
Yeah.
But you do have a line item in parks that should allow them to purchase some, some of the money come from that line item, because lawnmower will be used in parks, of course. But there's not a lot. I wanna say we budgeted 12,000 maybe. I'm not sure, but I'll go pull it. And
Here's
that
other
was the
places.
concern, because the tractor was approved out of 7 cents, but there's not even enough money in there to pay for that tractor out of 7 cents, so it'll have to be brought back up to pull the rest out of general, somewhere, some department.
You got 4,000 for equipment repair in parks.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. We could amend the
And it's-
budget. We got it several
We've got
places.
some in there.
Mhm.
Gotta get it right. Okay.
And that's all where I'm coming from. I'm ready to vote on it. I think we need them, but we just.
I mean, I can
And I
go,
can print, it will take me about 2 seconds to print what you're.
and I can support you, at least with one. If you could tell me
But we
if
need
we
two.
can. I know that, but I know you got 12 grand for one
Let me
sitting there
print
now.
that for you.
And then,
Right, and y'all-
I just need to know where the second would, that's the only thing I'm wondering. If we can't use the 4 cent,
Well, like I say,
I have no problems getting the equipment that we need.
All right, well,
so what y'all wanna do, buy
That's what I
one
said.
tonight?
Those down there at Sarah Lane, is that, Husqvarna? or-
Hustler.
That's some
Hustlers.
hustlers.
Okay. Huh? I like them,
are they in stock, Bubba?
if you buy the right
Or
one.
do you know?
But the commercial one. Huh?
Are they in stock? Or do you know?
I didn't see a delivery date, but I know there's one on the floor.
They had one and.
Yeah, I know there's one on the floor.
Yes, sir. And the other one.
Because Travis went out there and looked at it.
So I just need, when I ask if we're going to buy one or two? Sounds like you have support for one. I'm not sure about two.
I can support the second one if we can figure out where it's gonna come from. I think we'll have time to figure that out here
We will.
quick.
Mr. Phillips, why don't you make a motion to purchase two of those lawnmowers from,
So done. And like I say, it should not be hard to come up with another $9,500 even. I'm at the 4.7 cent, because how much we put an average a month in them counts, Heather?
And to 7 cents is roughly 5,000 or 6,000 a month, right?
Right. And like I say, if you can come out of 4 cent, there's plenty of money sitting there.
That's on the, agenda under C, items discussion. We just gotta change that figure. We're gonna go with, the hustlers, because that's the other one.
Okay.
Just make the motion there if you want to. Sarah Lynn Long,
Who's gonna second, what I wanna know. Before I bring it up.
Mr. Phillips is making a motion. Is there a second for the motion to purchase?
Yeah, I'll
the two?
second it.
Thank you, Mr. Little. Anything else, Bubba?
That's all I got, Mayor.
We're moving into discussions and/or consideration. Items A, payment of our bills.
I'll do that.
Mr. Skelton, Mr. Butler, second that one. Discussion and consideration of resignation of Jeffrey Reeves as a part-time police officer effective March the 25th, 2022, in good standing.
I make a motion.
Second.
C, discussion and consideration of what we just went through here, the purchasing of 2 zero-turn lawnmowers. We may change that to,
Sarah Lynn Lawn Garden. There,
And the amount of two of those from Sarah Lynn was $19,943.42.
right.
For two.
And they're hustlers.
okay, when that comes up, just make sure you specify the place. D, consideration of the Union Chapel contract with the Satsuma Women's Club.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Randy makes a motion, Jason seconded. E, discussion and consideration of bids for cleaning of Steel Creek Lodge. If you want to hold off on that until,
She's on her way.
okay, if Tricia's here and she satisfies any questions you have, if not, that's related to Steel Creek, we'll have it on the workshop next Tuesday, and we can either have it taken care of tonight or finished up next week. F, discussion and consideration of increasing the rental lodge, that's the same thing. So E and F, I think, are together. G, discussion of bids, I guess it's gonna be a state bid for the Tahoe.
Consider sending a letter to intent to purchase the Tahoe. Is that from Donahue?
Do you make a motion, Jason?
I can.
Oh, okay. Then I'll be second.
You want to? Or you can,
It
either
don't
one.
matter.
Yeah, I'll make it if you want to
Do
say.
that, I'll second.
Go.
That is all the business that I know of that's coming before the council tonight. Does anybody have anything else that they know of we need to discuss? Time is 6:40. It gives us 20 minutes. We will call the meeting to order. If everything's been addressed, hopefully our meeting will be quick and we'll be out of here. Okay, good evening. It's 7 PM. I'd like to call the regular meeting of the City of Satsuma, City Council meeting to order. As in every week, we start by trying to remind everyone if they got a cell phone with them to please silence them or make them at least where they don't disturb the meeting. So if we do that, the first thing we do is in all meetings, we start with invocation, then we follow it up with the Pledge of Allegiance. Tonight, Ms. Reese has volunteered to do the prayer, so if you would, please stand, remove your hats, and remain standing for the pledge.
Let us pray. Father God, we come to you tonight, and we thank you for your many blessings. We ask that you put your hand of healing over those that are sick and your hand of warmth and comfort over those that have lost loved ones. We ask that you keep our first responders safe, and we ask that you be with us tonight as we do the business of the city that would be pleasing to you, Lord. We ask all of this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Ms. Reese. Heather, can get a roll call, please?
Yes, sir. Councilmember Little,
Present.
Councilmember Butler. Present. Councilmember Skelton.
Here.
Councilmember Reese.
Present.
Councilmember Phillips.
Here.
And Mayor Barlow.
Here. Please let the record reflect that all is here, including the city clerk, the attorney, and the police and fire chief. Tonight, we posted an agenda. We've had a couple of add-ons. I don't think we really need, the first one was Kara Stallman, but she has left. I think she told us what we need to do, and that was to add an H, and that would be to give me the authority to sign the letter for the permits with ADM, since they got to be in before the next council meeting. We'll have that, and then an executive session at the conclusion of the meeting in order to discuss a contract issue with an employee. I think that I've covered the three things. We had a G, which is discussion of a Tahoe for the fire department. A H, the ADM permit that we're required by law to do the annual report on. And I is executive session dealing with a contract and employee issue.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda with those revisions.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Skelton, seconded by Mr. Phillips, to approve the agenda with those additions. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Okay. Thank you. Moving on, approval of the minutes from our regular meeting of March 8th, 2022.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Motion to be made by Mr. Skelton, seconded by Mr. Little, to approve the minutes as distributed. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Recognitions tonight. There was no recognitions. We do have some visitors with us tonight. The first one is Miss Judy Callan. Ms. Callan, would you like to approach? I don't think this will be very simple. We've already discussed it in pre-council, but Ms. Callan has a request for a waiver for the Gator Guys lunch, which is scheduled for May the 18th, which is a Wednesday, at Steel Creek Lodge. Did you, just for the record, Ms. Callan, want to state what this is in your annual?
Okay, this is our 5th or 6th annual Gator Guys Cookout. We invite all the senior boys and all their dads. So the attendance is usually about 80. It's a real good day. We feed them hamburgers and potato salad and pork and beans. So they seem to enjoy it. We have favors for them to decorate for them. And this is also in conjunction the same day that the Library Club will be doing the girls' tea. So we're asking permission tonight to waive the fee, except for the cleaning fee.
Sure. I don't think there was no,
I put that into a form of a motion.
Second.
okay. I didn't think there would be any problems with that. So we have a motion made by Ms. Reese and seconded by Mr. Little to approve the waiver of the fee with exception of the cleanup fee for that day, May the 18th. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
You have it for that day. Good luck with it. On our agenda tonight, we have B, Robbie Strom from Goodwin Mills in Kaywood. We refer to him as GMC in reference to the Go Mesa update. We kind of got bombarded with information on that last night, and it led to some questions that Tom responded back to today, and we just got them answered a couple of hours before our pre-council meeting. So since it's kind of a lot of information and a whole lot of money on that upgrade, we've kind of agreed tonight just for everybody to get the information or get what they may need, go look at the lodge, and we're going to meet for a workshop. Heather, we're going to need to make sure we post that tomorrow. Workshop scheduled for next Tuesday night, which I think is the 22nd, will be at 5:30 p.m. here at City Hall to discuss the Steel Creek Lodge, but the Go Mesa grant specifically, I think will be the majority of the conversation. So, to set the workshop, since we're going to be discussing that, Jay, do we need to have that in the form of a motion, or can we just post it with the comments?
Workshop is what we usually do.
All right, that's what I was thinking. So if that's agreement of the council, I didn't ask that question, who would make the motion, second it, but if nobody has a problem with it, I need a
I'll make the motion.
motion made by Mr. Skelton, seconded by Mr. Butler to schedule the workshop meeting for Tuesday night, 5:30 p.m. on the 22nd. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by aye.
Okay.
Okay, so it's set. Okay, we did have a couple people come in. So I think first one there that we hadn't seen in quite a while, Mr. Black. He's no stranger to the city here. We appreciate you coming. Do you have anything tonight, Mr. Black, to come up on? Well, we do appreciate you coming. And then on behind him, I think Mr. Reeves, is it, from the back? Appreciate y'all coming. So, and then two new residents from the Satsuma back here. What was your name, sir? Mr.
Robert, Sarah.
Okay, Robert and Sarah, they moved in a house on Bayou, and been having some little problems, some drainage issues over there they've been working with, so hopefully we can help them address that. So anyway, well, welcome to Satsuma. Hopefully we can help you do something to help dry out some of that water over there. I know you said it's been a battle since you moved in trying to do that. And then all the regulars that are here, we appreciate y'all coming. Is there anyone else wants to come before the council? All right, well, if no one else is coming before the council tonight, I'll go into the mayor's report. We did lose a longtime resident, Mr. Langford, from the city. So if y'all see anybody in his family, you might want to express the condolences for him. Also, one of our people that frequently makes our meetings up here, Mr. Leslie Olive, I think, has had some real health problems. So y'all may keep Leslie and his family in your prayers. I think we've done discussed Steel Creek enough between pre-council and tonight. I'm going to move on past that. I did discuss with the council the fence at Lyons Park and perhaps the need to go ahead and do what we've discussed for quite some time, and that is move the field fence along Plateau in a little bit so we can park those cars without them sticking out in the middle of Plateau, which is causing a traffic hazard, and actually had people parking over on somebody else's property and all in the last couple of days. So we're going to I'm gonna get with Travis tomorrow and see if we can still get that project done, and I'll let y'all know a cost and how we can pay for that. Reported last night, we had the water board meeting. We did get our audit there. The water board had a real good audit and last year, and things are going well over there, so I just wanted to bring that to the council's attention here. The two of the members are on the water board, so. School board vacancy. Y'all know we got a school board vacancy coming up. Please remember, those who have watched the live streaming, please, if you're interested in that, get us a resume turned in so that we can find out who is interested in serving on the board. That's a very important position, and I'm hoping that we can get some real good candidates for that. I discussed over on North Oak Drive, which is not an open road, that does have some houses on it over there. We did do a little bit of improvement. That's where we can actually get some of our vehicles down there in case of an emergency and/or to service the garbage service down that way. We do have the road grader scheduled for this Saturday. Hopefully, before this term is over, we can work on getting rid of a couple of these dirt roads. We can get less and less of those, and I'd like to see the day we didn't have to have the grader out here so often. And I discussed with the council the increasing cost of fuel that may require us to have to do some adjustment on the budget before the year end if we continue to see fuel staying at these prices or anything higher. So we'll have to start watching our fuel consumption there. I think everything else that we have tonight will either be addressed in the discussion and consideration or else is going to be brought up by a council member. So with that being said, that is all the items that I have from the mayor's report. So we'll move into the public services, which is Mr. Randy Little. Randy, you?
Yeah, nothing this evening, Mayor. Thank you.
That's good, yes, sir. And then next on the list is public safety, and Mr. Mike Butler.
I talked with Chief Harrell today, and we didn't have anything to the agenda. And Chief Waits, he said we got a grant for the fire department. So if Chief could expire.
We applied for a $10,000 grant for the fire department from the state of Alabama. And as of a while ago, when talking with Carrot, looks like everything's went through. It looks like we're going to be receiving that shortly.
So that's good news for them. So other than that, I don't have anything else.
Thank you, Mr. Butler. Moving on to administration, Mr. Skelton.
It's got a couple of items. First item is the fire department will be hosting the Prom Promise program tomorrow around 9 a.m. So you'll see a lot of emergency vehicles out in the back parking lot by the football stadium. And also that Heather will be attending a city clerk class the last week of April. So just add that note.
Mr. Skelton, they changed the time. It's actually going to be 0800 in the morning.
Okay, at 8 o'clock.
Last minute changed the time.
Gotcha, thank you. Thank you for that. So 8 o'clock instead of 9 o'clock. So, and the fire department will put that on our social media, so kind of be aware of when it should be complete. So anything after that, you may want to be concerned with. So, that's all I have.
Thank you. Moving on, Ms. Reese Parks.
Yes, sir. Was there an update on the tennis courts?
They are supposed to give us a confirmation on the date, they said by Friday of this week, on when they could do it. Now, I'm not going to tell you that we will get that because they have told us several times that they were planning to start construction soon, and I don't know if the weather has held them up. That's what they've blamed every time, but as of now, they're saying by the 18th, they will give us confirmation on when they can start it.
Okay. And the entrance signs, I know we had gotten some money back when the sign was damaged, and we were going to replace those, but you said you had somebody that might be interested in helping restore those. Have you been able to get in touch with him?
I have reached out to him, the person who built the sign, several times since I've been here. I spoke with him. He said his wife was still under the weather, and that he was trying to get somebody that he had given the painting of those signs, because I feel like, and I did send him a picture, he thinks that they could probably be just repainted and made look good, because all of them he made at both ends of the city, going into Public Works, going into the Steel Creek Lodge and all.
I think we were just looking kind of like to update and refresh and kind of like a newer type sign. So if he
Well-
can't move forward, maybe we can revisit the drawings that Heather had.
Oh, I was looked over them back there actually earlier today. Yeah, they do. I mean, they're going to be quite expensive. We replace every one of those, because just the two at the ends of the city were, kind of expensive. But if that's what you want to do, we can look at it.
Well, since they were damaged in the storm, we had gotten reimbursed for that, and I think Tom, well, he's not here anymore, but Tom had put that on the list as having it replaced. So I can bring the drawings at the next meeting, and we can talk about it. I've mentioned in pre-council that I had gotten some information in regards to the lighting at Lions Park, Wright Park, and the tennis courts, and we had been talking about LED upgrades, but what I'm actually going to need is the quote. So if you've got anybody that's working on that, just encourage them to get that into us, and we'll try to see if we can't go to the county and ask them for some help along with Alabama Power and see.
Alabama Power provided quotes a while back.
There was a lady who had scheduled to meet with Tom, and
She did, she came.
did he meet with her? I was told that he didn't meet with her. So I spoke to her, I think, when I was in Montgomery last, and
She provided some quotes,
some. Mm-hmm.
but I'm pretty sure the hearts were included in things. I'll look and see.
Okay.
But that's been a while.
I don't think it was, this is for field lighting, for the fields, and not just for like parking lot.
Yeah, I think she went back out and did it.
Yeah, we have a different department, energy services.
Uh-huh.
I can have someone contact, me and Randy spoke about that earlier.
Right, okay.
I'll have someone from energy services contact you about it.
She was eager to meet with us, but, so we'll look forward to, I guess, moving forward on that. Mayor, if you've got somebody that, they speak to Travis to try to set up something where he could go with them to show the needs of the fields?
You let me know when they're going to be here, and we'll set Travis up for him or James, somebody to be available to meet with them, show them around, because they're all familiar with it.
Sure, I mean, just to contact City Hall and let them be able to schedule it, I guess, to what their availability is. Okay. And, oh, I guess we'll talk about it further down, but I was looking at this budget that Heather had given us. And I just wanted to bring it to y'all's attention that on some of these figures, she said it goes through the end of January, but we have the improvements to Wright Park. Those would include C and D field, plus some of the capital money that we had set aside for that project. I don't believe that the improvements in Lions Park reflect the electrical costs of the scoreboard upgrades. So I wanted to mention that. It was stated earlier that Baldwin Square did go over on that tree that needed to be cut down. The Magnolia Bark Park, the balance there, plus some money from the disc golf would go towards the signage at the dog park, because that still hasn't opened yet. And then anything for the splash pad, season hasn't started yet. That's why it's all at 100. Just so you guys know that we spend the money during the summertime. And then as well as the utilities, once ball gets going, they're going to be running those lights pretty much every single day. So you'll see those numbers drop quickly. But it looks like we did have some in, I don't know, if the small tools and repairs, it would be on the next page. Small supplies and small tools. And then, I guess, let's see. I don't know, equipment repair. That's, I think, where you, Randy, is that where you saw the 4,000?
Yeah, I think that's right.
So, and then it also, I guess I have a line down here for 10,000 in prisoner expense. Do you know if they're using any prisoners?
Yes, we use prisoners in the parks. I mean, we
It
send people every day to the parks.
It just wasn't reflected. It says it still has 100% of the money used, so that would not,
They've currently been allocating that to, under the Public Works Department, under 570. But all of their meals, protective clothing, any and all of that comes out of that line item. But Travis has just been charging it to 570 currently.
okay, so that would not be a true reflection of what, all right.
We've been getting that
But
pretty
that-
much for free.
But that, we discussed that Monday, and you certainly could use, I mean, you have to buy equipment for the prisoners to use, so that money could certainly be used for lawnmowers or anything like that. Because they still got quite enough in 570 to cover the rest of the year on meals for them, because they have less than what we thought we would have anyway.
Sure. Okay. So I just wanted to make those notes as far as on the parks when we get down to Mr. Phillips. That's all I have.
Okay, but I assure you that every day, there's people in the parks, and if you'll go look at them, and you'll see that the improvements that they've made, and I think that there was a complaint.
Usually I'm at work while they're working, so I probably don't see it, and they're not working for free. It's coming off of his line probably. So it's all being used. It's not like it's not.
I think they had the fields looking very good for the season to get started, and I think they
I'm
did.
sure they're doing a wonderful job, and I appreciate all that they do. Thank you, Mayor.
Mr. Phillips?
Mayor, being we're on that subject, I was going to bring up about work Public Works has been doing Steel Creek Lodge, the library, and the senior citizen, the striping. If anybody hadn't been down to look at it, it really, really looks good. All the striping, they painted all the blocks back yellow, and it really made it pop. So I did want to mention that, and that was all at a park side. I probably paid for it, though. You know.
I'll
And-
buy you a mower. How about that?
I'll take it, I'll take it. Mayor, you want to bring up the mowers now, or just wait till we get down to the line item?
Either way you want to do it, Mr. Phillips, it really don't matter. We're going to address it either way. You can go
I'll
ahead.
just wait till we get to that line item. That's all I got, Mayor.
Okay. Is that it, Mr. Phillips?
Yes, sir.
All right, that's from all the council members. Now we'll go into items for discussion and/or consideration. A, payment of the bills.
I'll make a motion to pay the bills in the amount of $30,937.40.
I'll second.
Motion been made by Mr. Skelton, seconded by Mr. Butler to pay the bills in said amount. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
B, discussion and consideration of resignation of Jeffrey Reeves as a part-time police officer to be effective March 25th, 2022, in good standing.
I'll make a motion.
So,
Motion made by Mr. Butler, seconded by Mr. Skelton. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Accepted in good standing. C, discussion and consideration of purchasing 2 zero-turn mowers. I think we're going to change that to
Yeah, Mayor, I'd like
Saraland.
to put in form of motion that we purchase 2 mowers from Saraland Lawn and Garden. The brand's a Hustler 72-inch cut. For 2 mowers, it's $19,165.42.
Second.
Mr. Mayor, I looked while we were sitting here, believe I'm right that you cannot use the 4-cent tax on there. Found an AG opinion that says, since it's not construction of the road or rehabilitation of the road, you cannot use it for landscaping. So I don't think you'd be able to buy a little more for landscaping. However, you could buy something like a dump truck.
How about a
for
tractor?
road, or a backhoe. You
About a
can buy-
tractor?
If it's for construction of the road, you could do that, but not for landscape.
It wouldn't be. I think we'd look at moving things around. I mean, I'm for the purchase, Bubba, but I think what he's saying is right. We need to look at moving the money elsewhere from the budget to pay. But we could pay for it out of 7 cent or what we got in 7 cent and then move some money around, but I think our general fund, we could pay the remainder of that right now, so.
I just wanted to question on the total, Mr. Phillips, did you not want to include that mulch kit? That goes.
I did not see the mulch kit. That's what I looked at, the total.
Front page of the quote.
You must have a different one than I got.
She gave us a quote of 19,943.42, and you said 19,165.
Yes, I do. That'd be another 778, because I was thinking it was already included in that price.
19,943.
Yeah, there you go.
Right, 19,943.42.
You gotta have that on there.
Right. There's no point if you don't get that.
Right.
So I just want to get that in the motion, right?
Thank you, Heather.
Yes, sir.
All right, we got a motion on the floor for Mr. Phillips to purchase the mowers from Saraland Lawn and Garden for the set amount, 19,943.42. Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
Second by Mr. Little. We got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
D, discussion and consideration of the Union Chapel contract with Satsuma Women's Club. Taking it back to the original contract.
Second.
Well,
I
you-
mean, I'll make that motion.
Easy, Randy.
I'll second.
Motion been made by Mr. Little and seconded by Mr. Skelton to renew the contract with them, the original contract. Any other discussion? Well, if it'll be briefly, yes, ma'am, we kind of out of order, but go ahead for briefly.
Y'all finish what y'all got, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. There's no further discussion. All those in favor signify by aye.
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 E.
Let it be heard, Bubba.
That's
Did Trish go ahead and leave? No, I didn't. Sorry, you behind the thing.
She's hiding.
Okay, E and F are both very close. They're both related to Steel Creek Lodge. E is discussion and consideration of bids for cleaning services at Steel Creek Lodge. This is something that the ladies have been looking at due to the fact that some of the people, not surprisingly, just don't clean the lodge up where it's ready to rent after events, and also the amount. They're wanting to get somebody that was doing a better job of cleaning it and trying to maintain the facility. Trish, you want to move up so they can, in case any of the council has any questions, because I think you and Edith have been the two that primarily worked on this, right? Sure.
What we wanted to do is reflect the new standard. We have a beautiful new facility now with a new kitchen and the restrooms, and it really looks great. So we do have to kind of take a look at our cleaning standards. To maintain this building, we have a stainless steel kitchen that does, it's easy to clean, but it has to be cleaned properly. The restrooms, we have granite, we have some very nice tiling, mirrors, et cetera, those things have to be maintained. And so the three bids that were given to you, they reflect the rising standards. We do have checklists as well that we expect the cleaning company as well as Public Works to follow up with. We have a renter's checklist that these are the renter's responsibilities. And then we have our checklist to maintain the improved standards. We have a cleaner's checklist that they will check off every time they do clean it. Then we have an employee checklist, and this is a little bit more in-depth, just grounds. Is there anything that has to be repaired? Is there things that need to be paid special attention to? And that's for Public Works. And then how are we going to pay for this cleaning? Is the next question, and what, consulting with Ms. Edith Butler, we suggested that we go up on our rates. And it does reflect the cleaning costs, the bids, they're not, right now we're spending $99 to clean that facility. And as the mayor had said, the standard has been waning. So to reflect the new cleaning costs, we want to go up in our rate prices. Now, these are suggestions. We did include in your packages there a comparison to 3 or 4 different facilities and trying to get apples and apples here. No antebellum houses, no really fancy places. But as you can see, Still Creek is up at the top, and the other facilities that is highlighted, we are still very reasonable. And maybe even too reasonable. This is all up to debate. This is your right to do that. But as we were comparing, we thought what we came up was fairly reasonable. We are not over the top. We're just trying to go right in the middle of the road. There are some questions. We would like to have an extended weekend package. This reflects with Ms. Butler's knowledge and years of renting it, as well as Ms. Heather and myself. These things may help our clients as well as bring in revenue for us. We have a Saturday and Sunday price. We find reunions want Saturdays and Sundays, and we find that extended weekend packages are very convenient for weddings. So do you want me to list the prices, or and this, hopefully over time, will help us supplement our income for damages that are incurred. This is a natural process in renting to people, and no fault of the person renting it, but, parties are parties, and, people do get out of hand and things like that. This would help with those damages and paying for them. Any questions?
Do y'all take a deposit
Yes, we do.
up front with a credit card just to be sure for damages so that you got a way to collect?
We take cash, credit cards, or a check.
And that's half?
It's half the rental.
Yes, it's half the rental. And that's another thing that can be discussed is if you want to create a schedule, if damages occur, how much for putting nails in the walls. That's one of the things that we stress in the renter's checklist, that no nails or anything that is hanging from our freshly beautiful walls that have been painted. Something like that can be created.
Well, I think the wording of the contract states that any damage, the whole deposit is.
Forfeit the entire amount?
Yes.
Because that's the way it's always been in the past, is the whole.
I'm okay with that.
Is that security, is that 50 per hour?
Yes, and that reflects, again, the respecting the officer's time. There are, I know officers, and for directing traffic, they get paid $70 at events. So $50 for security for a party of
That's what I
200
say,
is
is that a
not
night or
exorbitant.
per hour? 50? Is that
Per hour.
It's per hour.
Per hour.
So 200 basically
200 for 4 hours,
for
and we
4 hours,
require a
yeah.
minimum of 4 hours. That's not an exorbitant
No, I was
price in
just
the-
curious because it didn't say which way it was.
And I know you talked about packages, so I don't see anything for just a Saturday.
The very first Saturday or Sunday, it's Friday, for Friday or Saturday.
Friday or Saturday? Okay.
Right at the very top here, it's
Oh, I'm sorry, I must be looking at the wrong thing.
Same one I got.
Oh, the other sheet.
Those are my notes, so I don't get lost
This other
up
one,
here
okay.
talking to y'all.
You can have it back. No, because I have this
Okay.
one. I was just going by this here.
Yes.
So this is for both day, either day on those, and then if you want both days, it's 1,600. Is that how I'm reading
Yes,
that? Okay.
exactly. Friday, Saturday, Sunday would be 2,000. Saturday and Sunday would be 1,350, and Sunday alone would be 900.
Do you feel that 2,000 is enough for all three of those dates or days?
No, it's bang for your buck. This would attract people.
Okay. Because if you got Friday and Saturday, it'd be, essentially 2,400. So, but if we rented it to two separate people, we could make $400 more.
1 day less.
No, I think what
These are
you,
all flexible numbers.
what you've done
Anything
is-
that you feel that needs to go up, down, this
maybe,
is something.
could we visit this in the workshop?
That's what I was gonna recommend.
And, I had a question. It was really more about the cleaning. So who does our cleaning now?
Service master?
Okay. I don't mean, it, 250 sounds like a deal to clean that place.
Well,
I don't
cheaper than
know.
that.
Well, I know that, but I don't know if that's
Yes, but
gonna be.
if you, for right now, we pay $99 to get the floors done and the basics, the very basics in the bathroom. This is a little bit more extensive in the fact that we are cleaning our kitchen, the inside of the appliances, the liners are going to be replaced, the inside of the fridges and are going to be wiped. The stainless is going to be,
I got your thing. So, and just to save you from talking, because I mean, you're fine. But so I know she responded to this simply with Trish Mora's new guidelines. And so, unlike the other people that actually filled out the, would these people enter into a contract to bind them to the responsibilities that we're asking them to handle?
service master?
Whoever the
Yes.
winner of, okay.
Yes.
And it would be, I guess, void immediately if they didn't uphold their cleaning duties?
That would be part of the contract, yes.
Okay, okay. I'm okay with that if we're gonna, hold them to it.
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you for doing all that work.
No worries. Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
We can,
Trish, for the work.
do we wanna,
L for both related to Steel Creek, and I thought that probably, that's the reason I said we do a workshop related to Steel Creek. So if y'all want to just put all that related to Steel Creek for the workshop, we can just table it.
do we need to do the cleaning service now, though? Or I don't know, do we have another event that's coming in that we need to go ahead and enforce, like,
Well, I don't think you can,
Right.
They've already
Way out now, so
sign a contract, you can't.
it's not going to really affect
Cost
anything now.
well, no, but for the this, whatever of the services that they're providing, are they gonna go ahead and bill us for?
I think what you
Okay, okay,
paid that, what you said.
gotcha. Thank you.
Okay, we'd already set a workshop for next Tuesday night related to Steel Creek. Items on the agenda tonight, E and F, are both, one is consideration for cleaning bids at Steel Creek Lodge, and the other was consideration of increasing rental amounts at Steel Creek Lodge. It's my understanding that the council wants to put this on the agenda for the workshop next Tuesday night, which is all related to Steel Creek. So if that is the wishes of the council, can I get a motion that both E and F be tabled until we discuss this at the workshop?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Skelton, seconded by Ms. Reese, to table these items, but add them to the workshop for next Tuesday night, and hopefully they'll be back on the agenda 3 weeks from tonight at our next regular council meeting. The next thing on the agenda is G, a Tahoe for the fire department.
I'll make a motion, we send a letter of intent to purchase to Donahue Chevrolet for one SSV Tahoe for the fire department.
What's SSV?
It's a service vehicle, it's an upgrade on the brakes, battery alternator, for the lanes. Includes the clock,
Transmission cooler.
transmission cooler.
Do we have a price?
Estimated price.
Well, I mean, are we,
Estimated price around 46 to 48,000, 46 to 48,000. That would be drawn out in, I think, 3-year payments, correct, Mr. Skelton?
That's what we had put in the budget.
Right. What we budgeted for last year.
It would be off that bid list.
Right.
Yeah, it's off the bid list too.
So what you're saying is an intent, I know we just spoke about, you know, the other vehicles for the police. Is this, is this on a waiting list, or is this gonna be, how far out, or?
You have to get on a list to purchase. The list opens May the 1st, and if we don't go ahead and don't go ahead and send them a letter of intent to purchase, so when the bids open May 1st, if we're not on there, we won't get one. They may open, Chevrolet may open it for a day or two, or it may be open, last year it was only open 7 days and they closed it. So if we're not on that list with Donahue when they submit it, we won't get one. The delivery date is between September and October of 2022, after we
That
submit
is
it.
if you get, so it's not a guarantee.
It's not a 100% guarantee that we will get one, but if we're on the list, we should get one.
Jay, I'm just not familiar with buying something that expensive that we don't have a dollar figure on. I mean, if you tell us 46 to 48, if it comes back at 49, I mean, are we still okay to do that? I mean,
If it's on the bid list, we still can buy it, but from what I understand, you're saying, you're not entering into a contract yet.
We're not entering into a
Just getting
contract
on the
now.
list.
Vote on it again if it became available. Is that not right?
Right, we're just entering in, sending them a letter of intent to purchase. I don't have the email with me that I sent you the other day, Mayor, that had the figure on it. I don't remember exactly what it was. It was 46,970 something, I believe it was, or 48,970, I don't remember exactly what it was. I
right,
didn't know
the
it was
way
gonna be
cars and
discussed.
everything else has been going up, if it's something we're not gonna have delivered for 8 or 10 months, I'm just scared that it's going to be,
No, this will be the locked-in price. I can get you the figures and email it to you tomorrow, but I don't think it's gonna change from what I sent you the other day.
I'm correct, you're not actually approving the actual purchase. You're getting on the list to be able to purchase.
Correct. Correct.
okay. Any other discussion from the council? Motion been made by Mr. Skelton, second by Mr. Butler, for a letter of intent for the Tahoe for the fire department. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Those opposed. Tonight at a pre-council, our grant writer, Kara Stillman, came to the meeting and said that we have some ADM grant that the city has been participating in for quite some time. It's a number of years, but our annual report is due, and it is due before the next council meeting. She asked that the council give authority to me for her to complete the paperwork that's required for us to submit to ADM every year. So with that being said,
I make that motion.
second?
motion been made by Ms. Reese and seconded by Mr. Phillips to allow me to sign the letter with ADM. Pardon?
MS4 plan.
MS4, right. With, any discussion? All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Passed. Tonight, we have discussed everything that's on the council agenda. We have one matter that we will have to go into executive session for a short time. The time is 7:45 PM. Do y'all think 25 minutes would be sufficient?
I don't think so.
That'd put us back approximately 8:10 PM. I'll need a motion and a second so that we can move to the back and make our discussion.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Motion been made by Mr. Skelton, seconded by Mr. Butler. We will be in executive session, like I said, for approximately set of time.
Heather, was there enough?
I think we're all sitting down and,
It was on 76 heat when I got in here.
okay, it's 8:12 and we are calling the
Good.
council back to order. We've got everybody in here and we addressed a personnel issue in executive session and we were back there for almost to the minute, our 25 minutes we anticipated. So thank all of the people that attended tonight, either here or watching us on the live stream. Had a good meeting tonight. Hopefully, got a lot accomplished and we can get back up here next Tuesday night for our workshop. But if there's no further business before the council, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion